Welcome, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. This is Matt.
I'm Lily.
And this is...
That's Cool, where we can't stop, won't stop talking about stuff.
Thank you, Lily. All right, I again want to thank everybody for coming back again, and everybody who listened to our previous podcast episodes. We're excited to be bringing a great place today, I guess. I don't know what it is yet, but Lily's going to surprise us here in a minute. She said she picked an amazing place that we're going to discover today and go on a little journey. So, Lily, why don't you take us there and see where we're going? What is that?
Listen. Be quiet and listen. You can pause it.
What is that all about? At first, I thought it was like my local coffee shop. It sounded really nice, and then I heard the terrifying horn.
Beep, beep, vroom, vroom.
Sounds like we're in a city. Somewhere.
There's a song to it. You might know the song.
There's a song to the city?
Yeah. It's New York.
Oh, New York. Oh, I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep.
No. It's New York. The things where dreams are made of.
Oh, you're talking about a new song. No, I'm talking about Frank Sinatra. The original New York, New York. I want to be a part of it. Anyway, so... Hey, we're in New York City, so that's fantastic.
We're actually visiting Manhattan.
Ooh, Manhattan. So Manhattan is
in all the boroughs.
Well, see, I wasn't sure. I'm from a small town, and I had visited
Somerset, Massachusetts.
It is. It's a very small town with about 15,000 people.
It's like 2 miles long.
Yeah, it's about maybe even a little bit less, but it's about 15,000 residents, and I think there's that many people in some buildings in New York.
It's kind of funny. Do you know why? Because Mom will always get these interviews from people from Somerset and ask you, "Do you know this person?" And you're like, "No. Who do you think I am? From this small town. I'm from this big city called less than 2 miles long, Somerset."
Hey, we have big skyscrapers. We have like 3-story buildings there. And mom took me to
New York is like 37 stories, not even. Or more.
They have some bigger ones. Yeah, some bigger ones than that. So, all right, tell us a little bit about Manhattan, and we'll go on a little journey. You talked about boroughs, which I was totally confused about that because it's a city within a city, and there's different ones. Anyway, just let's figure it out. All right, so what do we have here?
Island of Hills, but it says many hills of... No, I wrote many hills of island, but it's supposed to be Island of Many Hills.
All right, Lily. So tell us a little bit about Manhattan. What do you know about it?
The original name of New York City was New Amsterdam.
So they renamed New York from New Amsterdam. Oh yeah, and it says here it's known as the Island of Many Hills. So it is an island.
That's
so
what
that's
I mean.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, Manhattan's an island. Okay. Not New York itself.
Yeah, and I learned that Manhattan was actually purchased for the equivalent of around $1,000 in today's money. So right now it's worth over $3 trillion. So you could have even invested back then, Lily. You probably have that much in your piggy bank, right?
A little less.
A little less. Well, you keep taking money off my bureau, so you'll get there soon enough. You'll be able to buy
it was $5.
It was $5 multiple times.
It was $5 3 times, so that'd be 15. Ew, math.
Ah, you're doing math. All right.
I still need to...
See, if you're good,
I need to finish
and you do
my math
very well in school, there's some great, amazing colleges in New York City. Yeah. So anyway...
one studies Taylor Swift.
I know. So give us the nickname that everybody knows about.
Sorry, I'm just finishing one. The Big Apple.
The Big Apple is this nickname, and that actually goes back to the 1920s, where it was referring to prizes that were awarded during horse racing events, which is very interesting.
Actually, I knew that. I asked Grandma and Papa, and they told me.
So you have a Grandma and Papa who live in New York.
Yeah, they don't live in Manhattan. They live in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay. So that's where I get a little confused. And now I do know about Brooklyn, but there's different boroughs. So tell us about it.
Do you want me to tell you the 5 boroughs? First of all, what do you think a borough is?
It's like, when you're digging, and you kind of like going, like an animal underground. You kind of burrowing, right?
No.
No, that's
It's
not it.
actually, they're like cities. They're like kind of cities inside a state, but that makes no sense.
City within a city. All right.
It's confusing.
All right. Anyway.
So can I tell you?
Yeah, you said there's 5 of them. So what are they?
The Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island.
All right. So Grandma and Papa live in Brooklyn, and
Yes.
it looks like it says that they're named or referred to as counties. So the Bronx is Bronx County, Brooklyn is Kings County, Manhattan is New York County, and Manhattan's the smallest of the 5 boroughs. I think.
Yeah, because it's just an island.
Just as true.
But it seems like the biggest because you have the tall buildings.
Yeah, and so many people per square. I was gonna say square mile, square inch. It seems like. In Queens is Queens County, and Staten Island is Richmond County. It says that there's more than 1.6 million people live in Manhattan, and during the business day when everybody commutes from all over, from the Tri-County area, from like Connecticut and New Jersey and parts of New York, there's close to 4 million people in that small island in one day. So it is I've been there. If anybody's been there, it's the hut. They say the hustle bustle
something?
and there's a lot of noise, but it's.
You want to know something?
Interesting, yeah.
There's a museum devoted to Taylor Swift.
Well, I'm staying out of New York then, because it
Well,
looks like
actually,
your room. You have a museum in your room of Taylor Swift.
I mean, yeah. You know what Mom found out? So I have the Speak Now Taylor's Version CD. And you know what Mom found out?
Yeah.
She's a CD player in her car.
Mom does?
Yeah, like in her car.
So what you tell her later is 1992 called and they want their CD player back. Don't tell her I said that. Just tell her you read about that on Google. Anyway, let's get back to the program.
I'm going to tell her, Mom!
All right, let's get back to the program. So, all right, so there's some really famous, sites and things in New York, and a couple of them. Well, one that I've been to and everybody talks about is Times Square, where you go there at night and all the lights, and you've been there, and Broadway shows, and
I've actually seen Frozen on Broadway.
You have. So you've been to a lot of things in New York and on Broadway.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I maybe went once on like a bus trip, but I was a lot further away. And my mom just sent me. She was like, "You go. I'm gonna stay home. You head out to New York," and just sent me on the bus. I was like 5.
That does not sound like your mom.
No, I'm really kidding. Don't tell her I said that either. So Times Square. Did you know that it's not actually square? Speaking of math.
Yeah, it is a square.
Speaking of math.
That's why it's called Times Square, not.
No, it says here.
Not Times Triangle.
Well, it says here it's 2 triangles and
No,
not
it's
a square.
not.
Well,
It's not. I mean, it's not.
agree to disagree. So we're moving on.
I agree to disagree.
It used to be called Long Acre Square, and the first.
Exactly, square.
All right, we'll go with your math. The first your
fine.
geometry. The first time.
We're not
square,
even looking at a map. You're just
I
reading
know.
something that you wrote.
Well, I didn't write this.
Yeah, you did. No, well, I wrote it, but I wrote it, but I didn't see you because you were like standing behind me typing a little bit, so I didn't see that you typed that.
If you keep working on your math, you could end up on Wall Street. You know what Wall Street is?
A street with a lot of walls.
No. See, it's like the financial capital or hub where the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ is. It's a very powerful financial center of the world, and that's on Wall Street. It's a financial district in Manhattan. You really want to work there if you can get there, and then you could live in Manhattan. I heard the rents are pretty cheap.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I say that with all...
Quotation marks?
Yeah, exactly. Well...
Speaking of parks, have you heard of Central Park?
Yes, Central Park. That has been in movies I've seen. I don't know. I may have been there at some point, and they do like carriage rides and stuff. But
I've been
one of
there,
my
but
favorite movies.
I played on the playground after going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
You even? Oh, excuse me.
And I've been
Metropolitan.
I went to the Met Gala.
Oh, you're very refined. Do you have many leather-bound books?
No. No, I just learned about Egypt, so Grandma and Papa took me. I also have been to, that dinosaur museum?
I don't, but it sounds pretty cool. Maybe you'll take me someday on one of your adventures. Actually, speaking of Central Park, it has more than 10,000 benches.
Benches?
Yeah, you can sit on like a park bench, and people can adopt it. You can adopt a park bench. Maybe we'll trade you in. And so anyway, back to one of my favorite movies. Well, two of my favorite movies were filmed in New York. One was Elf.
Yeah.
And the other was a Christmas movie, Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. Okay, only the first two Home Alone movies are good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then it got kind of crazy after that. But
I mean, they changed all of the characters. The only movies that are good are the first and second, and the second is definitely my favorite. I mean, you know what I think is funny? That they just let things fall on their face. Like they look up like when the iron's falling. Like
right? He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna take it.
Like, ooh, there's an iron. And but you could easily just step one step to your left, right, forward, backwards. And you don't get hit by an iron. Same with the bricks. It's the same guy. Like, same with the bricks.
Marv? Oh, the other
one. Marv.
He's so funny.
But it's funny because, you know how it's a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Marv is Jewish.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's very cool. I did not know that. But how about when I don't know if it's Marv or the other guy, he falls in this big hole in the house, and he falls all the way down, and he goes, whoa. What a hole.
That's Marv, yeah. Marv is definitely the funny one. Okay, back to New York.
Back to New York. So there's a lot of trees. So you figure it's a city, biggest city in the world, one of, right? And there's so many trees. How did they do it? I heard that Central Park is man-made, and there's like 18,000 trees in the park, which is amazing.
Yeah, actually, you're right. There is 18,000 trees, exactly.
You counted them when you were there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Grandma, Papa, hang on, wait. We're going for ice cream. No, no, you messed up my nug. I gotta go back and count again. 4,568.
400.
And then you see a squirrel. You're like, squirrel. Oh, 1, 2. I hate math. And did you know there's over 200 bird species in New York?
You're spitting on me.
Sorry. So if you like bird watching and counting trees and adopting benches, come on down. We're going to New York. New York.
No, it's New York. The things where dreams are made of.
All right, that's a different song. That doesn't count.
It's the original.
All right, so tell us a little bit more. Let's go about what other sites are cool and to see in New York and around.
The
New
Brooklyn
York.
Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, Grand Central Station, Rockefeller Center.
I have been to a couple of these, and let's go back to the Brooklyn Bridge because that is very, very famous. And did you know that it was once the largest suspension bridge in the world?
I knew that, actually.
You know what a suspension bridge is?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one that's a suspension bridge out there?
San Francisco something.
Well, that's in San Francisco. The one in New York. And there's also one in Newport with the same, the person who designed it.
Oh,
Papa always says it. The
Verrazano. I knew that.
Cool. So at one time, the bridge connected two separate cities.
And was also the largest suspension bridge in the world.
Right.
You know, actually, I was looking something up because I was just looking up bridges one day. No, I mean, I was looking...
bored after you were counting trees. You were like,
No, I was looking something up, and it was like, because I used to watch, like, you know, mega movers that move bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, move houses and bridges.
Yeah.
I was watching that one day, and I don't know, just stuff about bridges popped up, so I just started watching that, and it gave me the New York one.
Very cool. All right, well, back to the Brooklyn Bridge. So Brooklyn, which I didn't realize, was a different city. So at one point, connected two different cities, Brooklyn and New York, and then Brooklyn became...
Brooklyn and New York are the same thing.
Or became, well, not now it is, but it became part of New York in 1898. So, and what about, you were telling me something funny about, what was that movie you wanted to watch again? Which, it's a lot of singing and dancing. I'm not a big singing and dancing movie type. That movie that you were talking about with the circus.
Yeah. You know what it's called?
I don't.
The Greatest Showman.
Yes.
That actually came out when I was in second grade. And there was this one song that we had to sing in Spanish that I've sung in Spanish.
Very cool. Well, so anyway, what did you tell me about the bridge that was really cool about a circus?
The circus center was P.T. Barnum.
Tell us about that, about the circus you were telling me about. That.
The P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, Barnum and Bailey Circus. What do you do?
he took 21 elephants over the bridge in May 1884 to show that it was safe.
That's a lot of elephants. So I guess that covered it. All the cars and the people. Maybe I don't think there were cars back then.
I did a thing about transportation in 2nd grade.
Huh.
So I'm pretty sure it's like very early 1920s or something.
Like the Ford Model T or something.
Yeah,
like
that. 1920s
or even before that.
Yeah, like 1920s something. I think like early 1920s.
Cool.
Or like middle 1920s, something like that.
All right. So we'll keep moving here. So the Statue of Liberty you mentioned.
The Statue of Liberty. That is actually. I also read a book about this and did a project about this.
You wrote a book about the Statue of Liberty?
No, I read a book about
all right.
the Statue.
What have you been doing in your spare time? You're counting benches, counting trees. What else you doing? Bird watching we talked about. I don't know. You were doing. Oh, you're working on Wall Street. Anyway, part time. Go ahead.
So in 3rd grade we did something about the Statue of Liberty, and we read a book. The Statue of Liberty is made out of copper.
Copper? It's green. Isn't copper like a...
Yeah, it's a gift from France. You know, they assembled it in France.
Did they? And how did they get it over here?
And then they took it apart.
What?
And brought it to New York.
Wow. Oh, you're right. I'm reading here. It is copper, but because it got tarnished over time being outside, then it turned green.
Yeah,
so
because of
oxidation, maybe?
Yeah. Because I want to say something about the oxidation or whatever you just said.
Oxidation.
Oxidation. It's because the salt water, the water, the wind, the salty wind, the rain, the water, and all of the above
Elements, yeah.
It is really, 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 really tall. 151 and 1 inch tall.
151 feet and 1 inch. I wonder why they added that 1 inch just to throw people off.
Yeah.
So you can't... It's harder to do the math on that. See, we're back to math. You keep it up, kid.
No.
All right, anyway, you were talking about the Declaration of Independence. I can't talk tonight. On the tablet that she's holding, I guess it's inscribed with the Declaration of Independence. It's written on there.
So you know it's closer to New Jersey than New York? Who do you think owns it?
I didn't know that. New Jersey.
Really? You think that?
I don't know.
Guess who owns it?
Who?
New York.
New York owns it. New York.
No. New York.
All right. It was actually once a lighthouse as well. For the first 16 years that it was there, it operated as a lighthouse, which is pretty wild.
And you want to know what helps the 151 inches?
Feet.
Inches.
151 feet and 1 inch. Let's get it right.
I like
151. That'd be the littlest statue. We could carry it over and just like pop it down. Actually, we could put it in Grandma and Papa's front yard and just say, "Hey, look outside." we moved Ellis Island a little closer.
You want to know something about the Statue of Liberty?
I'd love to.
Her left or right foot is like starting to walk, kind of like on the tippy toes, kind of like starting to walk.
She's starting to walk?
Yeah, she's like...
She's doing better than me. She's in the 1800s, and my foot's always hurting.
Yeah, she's like... Because it's kind of like walking like she's like going somewhere or something.
That's interesting. I never noticed
and
that.
She has like broken chains on her feet.
That's like breaking out of... independence and freedom. It's a symbol. So anyway, so moving on around the city.
Wait, I'm reading something. I don't think this is true.
What? What do you got?
It says the Empire State Building has its own zip code.
Yeah, I guess it does have its own zip code. It's pretty big.
I don't think it's that big. I don't think it needs its own zip code.
Well, I mean, it's not big like 151 inches, but it's a little bigger than that. A little bigger than that, right?
You know, have you ever heard of the Jenga building?
No, but if you're playing it, I am not going in there because you'll pull out the bottom thing. And
I'll make the bottom all wobbly.
Yeah, I'll be like, Lilith!
The whole point of Jenga is to lose.
Oh, yeah. No, because you want to make a lot of noise and chaos, and that's what you like to do.
No, I'll make it. I'll do it, and then I'll be like, You know you lost. Matt, you lost. And then I'll make you pick it up because you're the loser.
Oh, boy.
Even if I'm the actual loser.
Oh, all right, moving on. So it does have its own zip code, the Empire State Building.
I don't think it should, though.
And did you know that lightning hits the Empire State Building a lot, like 25 times a year? And they've grounded it, so they have like a lightning rod that absorbs the energy and it doesn't impact the building. But it strikes the building at 25 times a year, so I don't know if I'd want to go up on top of that. I don't like elevators anyway, so that's a long way up.
But. I mean, I don't mind elevators. It's just scary.
It is, and
that building is like.
Well, it was the world's tallest building for about 40 years, and then now.
And then we have the Freedom Tower.
Yeah, you have the Freedom Tower. Yeah.
I wonder why that's not on here.
Yeah, I didn't put that. I didn't touch on that. We can do another episode about that specifically, but that's
I don't think we actually should just do one about one specific building.
Yeah, well, we can do it about the. We'll figure it out. But did you know the design? If you're looking at it, it's a point up top, and it's designed based on a pencil. So if you hold a pencil, right, and you look at it from the side, and then you look at the Empire State Building, and that's kind of the design of it.
Oh, really?
That's what it said. So that's pretty cool. And then when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, it does look like that. So one of the really busy places around New York that everybody travels to and from is Grand Central Station. Have you been to that one? It's a subway station.
Probably. I don't know.
It's, New York itself has about 468 subway stations. That's a lot. And it has a whispering gallery.
Whisper.
Yeah. So if you go on one side, the architecture is built in a way. So if you go to one side and I whisper in the corner and you go to the other side, you can hear it.
Really?
Nobody else can hear it. Like the acoustics of the building, the dome, I guess, it moves the sound. It's pretty cool. We'll have to try it.
So I was reading a book in their house that they're moving into has one.
A whispering area?
Yeah, a whispering area. Yeah, but I didn't think it was true. I thought it was just like it was just in the fiction book I was reading.
Well, the problem is, if I go with you, you don't know how to whisper. So.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So you're going to be like, hey, Matt! Hey! And I'll be like, that's not the point of this. I'm like, tell me a secret. Okay. And it's just going to echo and everybody's going to be like, oh, God, I'm moving on. I'm going on my train.
No, it'll be like, hi, Matt, can you, it'll be like, Matt,
that's it.
Can you hear me?
No, I'm going in an elevator. I'm out of here. So I did say trains, and I guess there are no trains that pass through the station. So subway cars. And more
subway cars and a train are the same.
I don't know. I guess technically, semantics. So it says that
technicality.
More than 750,000 people a day go in and out of there. That's crazy. You ever hear somebody say, "What is this, Grand Central Station?" Like your house, like people coming in and out of your house. Like, what is Grand Central Station? That phrase.
No, I've never heard that.
Well, you will someday. It's the largest train
station.
When I party. Yeah, no. It's the largest train station in the world.
Yeah.
And the ceiling's upside down. So it says most of the paintings.
If you could see my face, I have my eyebrows like, huh? Yeah. And then I'm like blinking very slowly like.
So apparently, most of the paintings, like there's paintings on the ceiling, are constellations, right, of the sky.
Ooh.
And they're not the same as when you look up at the sky, so they're like inverse. So it says it's upside down. Very interesting.
What do you mean inverse?
The opposite, I guess.
Okay. Rockefeller Center?
Rockefeller Center. We've been there and seen the Christmas tree, which...
I know, actually...
In Elf, thank you. I love when he's like... Buddy's,
and Home Alone, too.
Yeah, that's true. But I love when Buddy's like trying to look for a Christmas tree. He just wants to see a tree, and he's like, the best look at this tree. And he says to the girl, what's her name? Jovi. He says Jovi, and he's in the window of a store, and he's looking at this tree. It's maybe like
look at that one.
6 feet tall.
Yeah, look at that one. Look at it.
Right? And she's like, come with me. And she shows him, and he's like, it's ginormous.
You know what I love about it? You know, it's like one of my favorite lines of it.
What?
Santa's coming. I know him. I know him.
Right? I know him.
I know him. I know him.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
Like,
Buddy the Elf.
It's
What's
like
your favorite color?
It's like, what did you sing on my? Like the Santa dude's like, what did you sing on my birthday?
He's like, happy birthday, of course. And he's like, ah.
The Santa dude is like, ah.
No, like, Buddy's like, ah, because he tried to trick him and he got him, ah. Anywho, Rockefeller Center, the Christmas tree is put up. It's between 70 and 100 feet tall. They've been doing it since 1933.
Wow.
And
is it a real tree?
I guess it's a real tree that they ship in on a truck. And it's a Norway spruce tree. I don't know if it's always a Norway spruce, but that's pretty wild. You've been to, there's a hall there, right? I think a music hall you've been to?
Yeah.
It fits like 6,000 people. And what did you see there? There's a show.
The Rockettes.
Yeah, it was a Christmas.
When they go, when they like hug each other and they go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a.
I can get my leg that high. Hang on. Oh!
Don't hurt yourself. No, don't hurt yourself.
All right, no more of that.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'm not dancing at the Christmas show. Oh, no.
You know, I once went there, and it was the last performance. And then last year I went.
The last performance ever?
No, like the last performance of the year, because we went on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
And last year I went the day before New Year's Eve, so that wasn't the last performance.
Oh, actually, I'm starting to get a little hungry here, and we've been, you know where I'm going with this, right?
The big pretzels?
No, not the pretzels, not the hot dogs, but Subway sandwiches, like the sandwich shop.
Yeah.
Their BMT, their most famous sandwich or grinder, is it means Brooklyn Manhattan Transit, literally a Subway.
Really?
Who knew? And speaking of food and hot dogs, hot dog vendors pay around $200,000 to the city.
So when are we going to get to the big pretzels?
A little cart. So.
And there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. There's a lot.
They're
of
like on
vendors
every corner.
Yep, that's what people do. They're street vendors. So we're getting short on time here. So a couple of other interesting things. The first pizzeria in the U.S. was Lombardi's on 32 Spring Street in New York City. New Yorkers speak more than 800 languages.
Wow. And there's a Central Park Zoo.
Yeah, Central Park Zoo. There's a Bronx Zoo. And do you know that the Macy's Day Parade, which I love to watch, is actually, they used to have live animals inside the parade walking.
Yeah.
And then people got scared of the animals, so now they do balloons. You know, they do Snoopy and
they do
Or don't they do like
the person from the baker thing? You know the rolls that we made, the little munchkin from that.
Oh, really?
This might have been our longest episode. I wish Taylor Swift was, though. I mean.
All right. So anyway, let's wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up here, but a couple of
with English muffins, spaghetti, and meatballs, and eggs Benedict, and ice cream cones.
So that's what was invented in New York. If you didn't know, English muffins, spaghetti.
Wait, ice cream cones?
Yep. And want to know the coolest one before we wrap it up?
What?
What was invented in New York City? Philadelphia cream cheese. Mic drop to go on your bagels. So anyway, wrapping it up, thank you, everybody. We truly appreciate everybody who listens and gives us your feedback. Please share this with your family and friends. Thank you all. Have a great night. See you soon.
Bye.